guys, so today's topic is body composition, and basically body composition is looking at what our bodies are made of. We have fat-free mass and fat mass, which the fat-free mass is bone, muscle, organs, and our water. Why is it important to assess our body composition? It is important to know how much percentage of fat our body is carrying around and how much of our percentage comes from lean mass, like I mentioned, from water, muscles, organs, or bones. Um, and it also lets us know with the percentage of our body fat if we are at higher risk of getting a cardiovascular disease or if we are at risk of getting any other kind of disease. So, why is it important to assess body fat composition in the professional field? It is important to assess this body composition because that way, as a personal trainer, uses this information to start the person based on where they are at. So if they have a certain percent of body fat and they're not active, or they are active but they want to get rid of the body fat, it's it's used so that the professional trainer can use this to start their program and start them training based on where they begin, based on where they start, and they can set a fitness goal, like saying, oh, at the end of this month I want to be down to 25% of body fat, or a goal like maybe I want to target body fat in a specific area. So the three methods that we are going to look into are BMI. BMI is looking into how heavy you are based on your height. It does not give us a body fat percentage, and this formula, or this way of figuring out BMI, is for general population, because if we use it for an athlete can be overweight, quote unquote, using BMI, but they're not gonna have body fat percentage. What their weight is gonna be like lean muscle, or lean mass, of like the organs and water. But we cannot use it for athletes because we're gonna think they're overweight or obese, which in reality they are not, because their body fat percentage is really low. The circumference, we take the circumference measures around the waist and the hips. We do the waist because that is where we have our visceral fat, which cushions our organs and protects our organs. So having too much of this fat is bad for us, and having too little is bad for us as well. We have to be right in the middle where it's good for us, because um, having the waist circumference gives us an idea of how much visceral fat we have or how much we don't have. The hips, we take the measurements of the hips because this is where females tend to deposit our fat. So with our hip measurements, we're able to tell with the waist to hip ratio if we are like over, or if we are at high risk of a cardiovascular disease. The last method is the skin fold method, which does measure fat. It gives us a body fat percentage. This measures the fat under the skin, which is the subcutaneous fat. We pinch our skin and we measure it with the skin caliper. This We do it in 7 sides, which would be the tricep, the chest, the subscapular, the suprailiac, the thigh, and the abdomen. Oh, and the mid axillary too. Those are the 7 places we do it, and then we just use our calculations and we find out our body fat percentage. We do measure this with millimeters, and that is what I'm gonna be doing in this video. Our BMI is our weight in kilograms divided by our height in meters squared, and it just gives us a general idea of how heavy we are when we take into consideration our height. Okay, so now we are gonna do our circumference measurements. The very first one we're gonna do is the waist circumference, and we're gonna ask our partner for consent if we are able to do their measurement. Okay, so the first one is gonna be the waist circumference. Can you do it? Put your arms up. Okay, the waist is gonna be a little bit above the belly button, and that's gonna be 92 for his. Now we're gonna do the abdomen, which is right on top of the belly button, and that's gonna be 95. Now we're gonna do our hip, which is including the buttock. Yeah. So we're gonna make sure it's not too low, not too high. That's perfect right there. And for his hip, it's gonna be 108. Now we are going to do our body fat percentage using the skin fold method, which is using a caliper. Basically what we're going to be doing is pinching the subcutaneous fat on the person's body, and then we're going to measure it with the caliper. The first one is going to be the chest. We're going to be looking at the nipple and the axillary muscle, and we're going to do a diagonal pinch. And then we get our measurement of 22. The next one that we're gonna be doing is the abdominal one, which is gonna be a vertical pinch, which is about 2 centimeters from the belly button. And then we get a measurement of 24. We release the skin caliper first, and then we release our fingers. The third one that we're gonna do is the subscapular. So I'm gonna ask my partner to turn around. And then can you go with it? And for the subscapular, I asked my partner to put his arm behind his back so I could find his bone quicker. And then we're gonna do a diagonal pinch. Gonna do a diagonal pinch and then measure it. So we get our measurement of 22 millimeters. Thank you. Now we're gonna do the tricep, so he's gonna flex his arm like this. And then for the tricep one, we're gonna go from the shoulder to the middle, and from the elbow down to the middle, and this area is where we're gonna pinch the skin. And then we take our skin caliper and we measure. So for this one, it's gonna be 20 even. Thank you. So now that we did our tricep side, we are now gonna do our super iliac. And for the super iliac, we're gonna have a partner point out their hip bone. Can you point it out for me? And then from there, we're gonna go 2 centimeters up, and we're gonna pinch diagonally, okay? And then we take our skin caliper and measure that. Right here, my partner is at 22. And then after the super iliac, we are now gonna do the quads and the thigh area. And for that, I'm gonna have my partner put all his weight on his left side. So go like this. Take your weight off of this one. And from there, we are gonna have him point out his hip bone again. And we're gonna measure from here and the kneecap. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the middle section, and we're gonna do a vertical pinch. So can I lift your shirts a little bit? Okay, so we were at right here, and now we're gonna do a vertical pinch. And we're gonna take our skin caliper and measure that. And we are at 20. The next measurement we are going to be doing is the mid-axillary. For the mid-axillary, we're going to have to ask my partner to raise his arm. And it's going to be a vertical pinch. For the vertical pinch, it's going to be right in the middle of the chest. And so we're going to pinch and then take the measurement. So right here, it's 22 millimeters. And then you can go ahead and...
Okay, you guys, I want to say thank you, and I want to thank my partner too for joining me and helping me to create this video. This video was on body composition, which we used the method using the skin caliper to measure the subcutaneous fat under our skin, which does give us a body fat percentage once we do the calculations. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.